What's up, my guys, and welcome back to the Wrestling Report Card. So for those of y'all that don't know by now how this show works, is for every show, every pay-per-view, I break down each match, each promo, each segment, and I assign in the letter grade. And then at the end of that there show, I tally up all those grades and I give that show its own personal report card. So for those of y'all that have been watching, I appreciate y'all. For those of y'all that are new, hey, stick around for a little bit. I'm kind of funny, I guess. But let's get on into tonight's episode of Friday Night Smackdown, because boy, do we have some stuff to talk about. So you had Vince McMahon open the show, and for those of y'all that don't know, he was on national news. This guy's in some hot water right now. We'll get into more on that later, but he opens the show. You also had the heavyweight championship belt on the line as Roman Reigns defended against Riddle in what was a really good match because Riddle brings in that MMA background that not a lot of guys do bring. So that was very entertaining. And then after that, you had a huge return. Even if you don't watch pro wrestling, you definitely know who this dude is. On top of all that, we got Money in the Bank coming up. So you have Money in the Bank qualifying matches going on tonight. I mean, it was out action-packed. As you can tell, we got a lot to talk about. So without further ado, buckle up your seatbelts and let's get to grading. Okay, now, as most of y'all know, Vince McMahon, he's gotten himself into quite a pickle. And by quite a pickle, I'm talking national news coverage type of scandal, okay? So check this out. For those of y'all that don't know, I'm going to fill you in. Allegedly, Mr. McMahon paid off $3 million. $3 million of hush money to someone that he had an affair with during his tenure at WWE. Now, this is nowhere near McMahon's first rodeo when it comes to scandals of this nature, or any nature in that matter. So Vince McMahon decides that he is going to open up Smackdown tonight. One thing I did notice is that walk he does down to the ring was a little bit more subtle this week than it usually is. Now, is there any way old Vinnie Mac is here to address this matter or to announce that he will be stepping down? No chance in hell! This dude literally showed up and said, I'm going to reiterate WWE's phrase, then, now, together, forever. And then straight dipped. I don't really know what that was. I honestly don't even know what's going on anymore. Like, I don't know. Anyways, we finished that up, and then we go straight into a promo and a little video package from Riddle, who is fighting Roman Reigns for both of his titles in the main event tonight. We get done with that, straight into another video package. This one's going to be for our first match of the night between Madcap Moss and Baron Corbin, who are fighting once again, this time in a last laugh match. Now, I'm not going to sit here and explain that to y'all. If y'all don't know what it is, honestly, you're probably better off for it. This is just a feud that has gone on way too long. So at this point in the show, we are 22 minutes into this show before we have gotten any in-ring action at all. But let's not focus on the negatives. After a slower start, Madcap connects first on that new fall-away slam that he's been hitting, which I really like him hitting that. And then just 3 minutes into the match, 3 measly minutes, we go to a commercial break. Like, come on. Anyways, whatever. We get back, and then Corbin, he's in full control. He hits his deep six, followed by a nasty choke slam. They then spill outside to the ring. However, Madcap was able to beat Corbin back into the ring. This allowed him to hit his finisher, the punchline, not once, but twice onto Corbin to, yes, get the 1, 2, 3. And hopefully we are done with this feud. For that opening match, I'm going to give it a C. Like, honestly, it was a little sloppy. It's getting real repetitive, and it was only 9 minutes with the commercial break. But there is hope, because after the match, Baron Corbin decided he was going to get in Pat McAfee's face, my guy. He basically called Pat out for always talking crap about him, which McAfee does do. One thing Pat McAfee does not do, however, is give a damn, because he grabbed the mic, and instead of having them boo him, Pat McAfee had this entire crowd laugh that sumbitch all the way out the arena. And it looks like we're building a feud between the two here, which I am 100% here for. And like him or not, Corbin puts on entertaining feuds. WWE just screws him over by making him fight the same guy for like 5 straight months. Anyways, we get done with that, and we go into our first tag team match of the night, where you have the New Day. They're taking on Jinder Mahal and his boy Shanky. First things first, I don't know how many more chops Kofi Kingston's chest, or lack thereof, can take before it just completely eviscerates. And Shanky, frankly, doesn't give a damn, as he chopped that boy so hard he sent him back with a Jamaican accent, okay? But while Kofi was down, Xavier Woods picked up his trumpet and he started playing some tunes, which I guess distracted Shanky, because my guy was sitting there dancing all around the ring. I mean, he was getting down, having a good time. This, however, angered his teammate Jinder Mahal, who tagged himself in, but he was so busy on being mad and yelling at Shanky that he didn't see Kofi loading up that Trouble in Paradise, which he connected on and got the 1-2-3 for his team. For that there tag match, I'm going to give it a C-. Like, it was entertaining for what it was, and who knows, maybe we'll get a Shanky face turn, which I think would go over really well. We get done with that, and next up, you've got Drew McIntyre, Sheamus, and WWE official Adam Pearce all in the ring. And poor Adam Pearce, he has to decide between these two behemoths on who advances to the Money in the Bank match. Because last week they had a qualifying match, but they both got DQ'd as they simultaneously hit each other with a chair. Now, you can't put them two boys in a match without making it a DQ match because they're going to try to rip each other apart every single time. Adam Pearce then goes on to declare that it is official that Sheamus is in the Money in the Bank match. Now, as Sheamus is gloating about all this, Drew McIntyre gets pissed off and he basically starts to whoop Sheamus's ass until Adam Pearce butts in and he's like, "Hey, buddy, you didn't let me finish." Drew McIntyre is also in the Money in the Bank ladder match. And I tell you what, that's going to be a slobber knocker. Drew McIntyre was so happy about this that he even gave Sheamus a Claymore to boot. See what I did there? On that segment, I'm going with a B-. I think it's the move we all knew and hoped that WWE was going to do. And how can you tell me you're not excited as you've got Drew McIntyre, Sheamus, and Seth Rollins as your first 3 entrants into the Money in the Bank match? Oh yeah, that's going to be a banger, my guy. So we move on from the men's now to the women's Money in the Bank qualifying match. As you've got Shayna Bazsler, she's taking on Raquel Rodriguez, and it's the technical submission queen going up against brute strength. And Shayna doesn't wait long to show off her technical prowess as she starts going after Raquel's left knee, and I mean, she's really on it. She then lands a knee of her own onto Raquel and was seemingly in control, but Shayna was unable to capitalize as Raquel was able to get the win, and she moves on to that Money in the Bank ladder match. Now, if I'm going to sit here and grade this, I'm going to give it a C+. I thought it was a good match, and I'm really glad that Smackdown is building a new top woman star because they desperately need one. But why we got to do my girl Shayna like this? Like, what'd she do, man? Let's repackage her and let's give her a push because that is talent wasting away. But that's enough talk, because it's time for the main event. You've got the reigning, defending, undisputed WWE Universal Champion of the world, Roman Reigns, versus Riddle. Now, if Riddle wins, he's obviously going to be our new unified champion, but if he loses, he cannot challenge for those titles again as long as Roman Reigns is still the champ. And let's get straight down to it. This definitely has that big match feel with Riddle bringing in his MMA background. And he comes out the gate strong, my guy. He even bounces back after a huge right hand from the champ, hitting him with a fisherman suplex. Roman does the smart thing and rolls out of the ring, but Riddle decides to follow and hits him with a corkscrew moonsault onto the floor. That was right before the commercial break. We come back and then the tribal chief is in full control. Riddle, after that beatdown, was somehow able to kip up, and I tell you what, he was so close to getting the 3 count after connecting on a second suplex, followed immediately by the floating bro. Now, all that did was piss the champ off, though, as he got up and he hit him with a nasty choke slam. Riddle rolls out of the ring, but now it's Roman in pursuit. He then sends a little jab towards Randy Orton as Roman picks up Riddle and hits Orton's signature slam onto that announce table. Riddle then counters with back-to-back offensive maneuvers. Riddle then channels his own Randy Orton as he connected on a scoop slam, that suplex on the announce table, and even hit him with a vintage draping DDT. But as he went for the RKO, Roman was able to block it and connected on his patented Superman punch. But Riddle kicked out at 2.999. Roman then goes to set up for his spear, but out of nowhere, Riddle counters him mid-air with the RKO. Holy shnikes. After Roman somehow kicked out, Riddle then connected on another floating bro. He was then going to go set up for his second RKO. Roman counters. Then, as Riddle goes to the ropes, he launches himself off the second rope. Roman then showed us why he's been the champ for almost 700 days as he hit Riddle with a devastating spear mid-air. And yes, The head of the table continues his reign as he gets the 1, 2, 3 and retains that title. After the match, Roman grabs the mic and does his whole, "Acknowledge me, there's nobody left to challenge me, I'm gonna go home." He's doing all that, he's about to leave when boom, the music hits. And none other than Cowboy Brock Lesnar comes out, and he comes straight down to the ring. He ain't wasting no time. And surprisingly, Brock Lesnar actually reaches out his hand to show a sign of respect to Roman. But of course, the tribal chief, he's too good for that. He doesn't accept it. And all this did was piss off the Cowboy, as Brock Lesnar not only F5'd our champion, but both of his cousins as well before we went off air. I mean, I tell you what, I didn't see it coming. It was pretty good. If I'm going to sit there and grade all that, I'm going to give it an A-. I thought the match was great. And check this, I'm never mad at Brock Lesnar coming back. But for the love of God, can we put him in a program with someone other than Roman Reigns? Like, he does not need to be in the title picture every single time he comes back. There is so much talent on that damn roster you could put him with. And he would put on banger matches with, just like he did with AJ and Finn Balor. With Money in the Bank fast approaching and SummerSlam on the horizon, it looks like we are going to go into Brock Lesnar versus Roman Reigns for the 19,000th time. But whatever, I guess we'll take it because that's what we're getting. But hey, we've got all the grades in. Y'all know the drill. Now let's take a look at the report card. After tallying everything up, we came out with a final letter grade of a C+. That's right, a 79%. Now, yes, the lack of in-ring action in this episode is what kept that grade kind of low, but we got a huge return in Brock Lesnar. You got a lot of stuff going on leading up into Money in the Bank. I'm sure the rest of these qualifying matches are going to be bangers as well. And, I mean, let's be honest, do we even know who's going to be running WWE next week, next month, next year with all this crap going on? I don't know. Stay tuned next week as we figure out what the hell's going on. With all that being said, hey, I do want to thank everybody that does tune in. If you haven't already, please subscribe, like, comment. Let me know how dumb y'all think I am. Other than that, man, I just want everybody to stay safe out there and have a nice day.